So this is the story, all about how my friend Boyks got fucking tricked by a goddamn non-dog movie again. What is wrong with you, Boyks?
You got tricked too.
Come
Come on. You got tricked too. Come on. Can't
Welcome
blame
to
this
Rough
on
Cuts,
me.
everybody.
Can't do the intro while you still have granola in your mouth. Come on.
Yes, I can. I just did.
Come on. We have a certain amount of quality that they expect from this podcast. We haven't even started recording yet.
No, I'm recording. We're good. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hello, everyone. Quick editor's note here. I'd like you to enjoy the only trailer audio I could find for Derby Dogs online. Maybe a sign.
Auf die Plätze, es kann losgehen. Und 3, 2, 1.
Ich brauche jemanden, der in Sachen Mechanik fit ist. Wasserstoff und 24 Sauerstoff.
I'm starting to think that Amazon Prime doesn't have our best interests in mind. They just want our money and time.
Well, that wasn't Amazon Prime. That was Tubi, baby. That was all Tubi.
Oh, yeah, because it got removed from Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
Right.
Amazon Prime has our best interest in mind. Amazon Prime knew that shit was a scam. We should have realized. That's the problem. Now you understand.
What the fuck?
Even
is wrong
Amazon
with
Prime was
Tubi?
like, ooh, we don't know. Let's just cut that out. Let's get rid of this one.
All right, films produced for Tubi. Titanic 666. Which I can only assume is the Titanic Satan movie. And I kind of want to see
The
that.
Titanic Satan. You know what? Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Rough Cuts. We're apparently doing the episode right now.
I don't know.
We do have a podcast
know.
about good boys and bad movies. That's right. Bad dog movies. I'm your host, Ilion, and this is my wonderful co-host, the Boyks.
Yeah,
Or
I'm looking
Boyk.
up this Titanic 666. This is real good.
Listen.
It's a Tubi original.
Listen, I understand that there was absolutely nothing to go on in this movie, but we still need to talk about it.
Wait, one second. Through the Haunted Waters, a Tubi original. Titanic 666.
So anyways, what was the name of this movie, Boyks?
Derby Dogs?
Was it? Was it really? Was that actually the name of this movie?
Okay.
Because it wasn't.
There's a whole bunch of posters for this movie. One of them shows a kid holding a trophy in a boxcar like vehicle with a dog with cool goggles and another dog photoshopped next to it. And it has
Running
the
beside it,
tagline. What is the tagline? It's like take a
bite out of the competition. I have it in front of me.
It's dog, 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 dog. Right?
It's all dogs all the way down, baby. Yeah.
But
that's a lot of
there's
dogs.
But that's not the title of the film. You think the large text at the top is the title of the film. But no, the text for the movie title is in the bottom left corner at an angle on the vehicle.
Faded out, yes. Because the vehicle is called the Kiwi Flyer, and the movie is actually eventually... I mean, it was titled Derby Dogs. It was titled Derby Dogs at one point, though. They released it under that, right? Like, it seems like they did.
The original title was Kiwi Flyer, and then they re-released it on streaming media as Derby Dogs. And there's a Blu-ray that has Derby Dogs that's $85, and it's German only.
Did they really... They retitled it to Derby Dogs? They didn't.
Yeah, that's the retitle.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is actually scummy.
It's literally a bait and switch. Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, I thought that it was titled Derby Dogs, and then they realized in editing that they were like, oh fuck, we changed a lot of this, and then changed it to Kiwi Flyer. They couldn't sell it under Kiwi Flyer, so they tried to make it more palatable to families. photoshopped a bunch of dogs that aren't in the movie into the poster and then renamed it Derby Dogs.
They even removed the boxcar, the Kiwi Flyer, and replaced it with like one with a flame decal, so you wouldn't think it's something else. Yeah.
Wow, they replaced the actual, because there was a boxcar. I've seen the other version of this poster that has the actual boxcar in the movie.
Yeah,
kind of looks.
They removed that from the cover because it looked shitty. Yeah,
and they put in dogs. That's
dogs. So anyway, spoiler
that's scummy
alert,
as shit. Actually,
there are no actual
scummy.
Zero dogs in this movie.
There's a literal zero dogs. Correct. This is a zero dog film.
Yep.
Yeah. We held out hope for most of the movie. I thought they would. 30 minutes in, I'm like, okay, so now's when they introduce the dogs, because he's starting to get into the Pinewood Derby, boxcar Derby shit, whatever. And then they just kind of don't.
It has a setup.
And then they don't.
Yeah, there's a setup to getting a dog. You can tell because the dad fucking dies.
Yes.
That's the lead up to getting a dog in every movie.
That's always the lead up. Yeah. You have a dad die, and then you got to replace the dad with the dog. Sometimes the dog is the dad from the afterlife, and sometimes the dog is just the dog. But you always got to.
And sometimes the dad is a dog, but that's weird.
Yeah. Sometimes the dad is the dog and replaces himself, and he didn't die, but that's fucking strange. And also, Tim Allen can go fuck himself. But
yeah.
Fuck you, Tim Allen, and your fucking Shaggy DA dog.
There's a reason we put Tim Allen in the Chevy Chase tier of our dog movie tier list.
Below Chevy Chase, in fact.
The fuck were we talking about? I
hated this movie. Yeah, we were talking about Derby Dogs, which is apparently a scummy bait and switch. The movie itself is not the worst pile of shit we've ever seen. It's not good.
It's a serviceable kids movie. It's not a dog movie.
No. This is... Did you ever see the Little Rascals remake?
Absolutely not.
No.
I know what the Little Rascals is, though.
Yeah, like that's what... This is the Little Rascals redone, but with... Hey, your dad's dead, eh? Oh, yeah.
Oi, mate.
Oh, I'm the Aussies, so the Aussies are real pieces of shit. Yeah.
This is important to note. This is a New Zealand film.
Mm-hmm.
Which I believe was at least partially paid for by the New Zealand Tourism Board. Because the main story of it is based on a real-life boxcar race that happens yearly since the 60s in New Zealand.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is like an advertisement for come to New Zealand. Look how much we hate the Aussies.
Look at, hey, come to New Zealand. It's like Australia, except we fucking hate all those assholes because they're real cheaters and liars and scumbags and bullies, and we should throw them all into the fucking ocean. Anyways, come to New Zealand. It's nice here.
Yeah, it's nice in New Zealand. They really ham up the New Zealand.
This was basically a declaration of war against Australia, is what this was. This was New Zealand being like, hey, everyone in Australia, get a copy of this. It's got a cute dog on the cover. Oh, and also Aussies are fucking monsters. All of the bad family that is trying to win the boxcar race is a bunch of Australians, and they're all they constantly like rub it in the face of everybody else. It's like, remember, we're better than these New Zealand people, these stupid fucking Kiwis. We're Australia,
backwater Kiwis.
They really rub it in.
This is the 12 mil, you dipstick.
Don't call him a dopstick.
What?
It's dipstick. Dipstick. Remember your roots.
And that's all I want to talk about. All right, we're done.
I don't have a lot to talk about, but I guess we could go over what happens in the film, I guess. There weren't any dogs. I'm so fucking disappointed.
It's really disappointing. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Based on, like, again, it being called Derby Dogs and having 2 dogs on the cover, you would think. But as it turns out, instead it's kid wants to join boxcar race. Dad is helping him join boxcar race. they have a cut of Dad saying like, "All right, I'll be home soon," and closing a garage, and then a police car pulling into their driveway and being like, "Well, Dad's dead."
It's the typical
like
Dad's dead, follow in the footsteps story. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to be proud of calling most of the stuff that happens in this movie about like a minute and a half before it happens exactly. But also, this movie is so fucking cookie cutter predictable that it's not a high bar.
So you're saying that you would like to become a hack fraud director writer and make our own film, and it would be really
No, I'm
easy.
saying I could be a director, writer, hack fraud, and make our own film, but I don't want to.
But you would need to get funding
sucks.
from the New Zealand.
If I could get funding directly from New Zealand
and then
to talk about how shitty all the Aussies are, then yes, okay, I'll do it for that because it's
how I know this wasn't shot in New Zealand? No hobbit holes.
Yeah, they didn't have a single hobbit hole. That's true. Maybe did they outsource their shot across the bow of Australia? Is that what you're trying to suggest here?
Anyway, so yeah, it starts in New Zealand, and our narrator is the kid for the actual story. But he's talking about how his New Zealand World War II soldier dad fell
grandfather, I think. Right?
Grandfather. It's not the dad, it's the grandfather.
It can't be the dad.
He fell on some milk bottles on a cart and rolled down a hill, and that's how boxcar racing started.
Because nobody looked at things with wheels and thought, boy, it'd be fun to make those for fun. They all just had them for functional things until someone tripped into it, and then they went, wait, maybe you could ride a cart.
Yep. And then they also point out that not only did his grandfather, his grandfather won a boxcar derby race or something once. I think? Because it's the most famous thing their family ever did. A one boxcar race. So then his dad spent his whole life trying to chase that dream and failed every fucking time. And that's important, I guess. So then, as his dad's fixing up a boxcar for him, it hard cuts to, oh no, a policeman outside. And then that's, with that line delivery, we find out that his dad died in a horrible boxcar accident.
I want to point out a little bit here too that when you say that like his dad spent the rest of his life chasing that dream and failing, that's not an exaggeration. That's a literal plot point of like the dad. They made up an award to give the dad because he entered the boxcar race so often
and lost every time.
Always lost. And always got his ass absolutely fucking handed to him. So they were eventually like, wow, you're the best loser we've ever had in this race. Gave him an extra award.
You want to talk about boomers complaining to millennials about fucking participation
awards, yeah.
God damn it. So anyway, the kid's getting bullied because his dad's dead by these Aussies who are like, oh yeah, your dad's dead, mate. Your dad, he's fucking died like a loser. Oi, oi, oi. As they're chomping on ice cream.
Oi, oi, oi. Yeah.
That's what they say, yeah. And then so our kid Ben pushes the bully's ice cream into his face and then rides off on a bike. And the bully's like, motherfucker, I'm like 16. I own a car. I'll just fucking run you down, you piece of shit.
Yeah, it was like the older brother. So it's it turns out that it's a pair of brothers that are like so it's the family. And the one brother is, like you said, like 16, 17. This kid's what, like 13?
13 probably, yeah.
Around 13, 14. So he's going to just run him over with his fucking car. And honestly, this chase scene, I was like, oh, these filmmakers they're not good enough for me to trust they didn't put this kid in serious danger. Because that car was real close to that bike.
It was too close.
Yeah. And they were going at fair speeds. And I was just like, okay. I mean, I guess nobody was harmed because the kid makes it to the end of the movie, but
it wasn't any trick of the camera though. It was very clearly a dangerous stunt that they had this kid doing, and it's just like, I don't know if I would trust that.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't even know the older brother's name. He's Biff from Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, they biff the hell out of this kid.
Biff the
they
hell
biff
out
him
of
right
him.
now.
Yeah, they biff him all over the place. He's so biffed.
Oh man, they just biff all over his car and then into his face, on his shirt, in his mouth. He ends up smelling how he's all biffed. Yeah, he's just biffed everywhere.
Because he drives his car into a porta potty, which then covers his car in shit. And his face, and then he licks it.
He kind of does. I don't.
For some reason.
Why did he do that? Why did he He had to lean over and sniff it and wipe it off of the car and sniff it to make sure that it was literal human shit, because you wouldn't be able to tell from the smell without whipping it up with your fingers and shoving it up your nose.
I don't claim to know Ozzy's knowledge of human fecal matter, but maybe they don't. I don't know.
They don't. Yeah, maybe Aussies are just used to it. Maybe Aussies just roll in shit all the time. This movie seems like it would suggest that.
There's a lot of poop in this movie.
Oh god, yeah. This movie loves its shit jokes.
So then Ben the kid rides his bike quickly back home, and his mom meets him in her water blasting car, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I was down at the dock water blasting some blokes."
Yeah, I was just blasting all these blokes all day.
I was just water blasting them.
You heard blokes, it was boats. It was obviously boats. Please.
No, she had a hose and she was just, spraying some dudes with their pecs.
Oh yeah. That's her job. It's a big job in the New Zealand tourism industry. You've got to make sure that all the blokes down on the beach, they need to be buff and shiny and sweaty. You got to water blast them. So
that's how you get people to come to New Zealand.
Yeah. Tourism, so they're nice, wet and dripping for all the New Zealand tourism photos that you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that's her job now. She took over from her husband, who was used to blasting the blokes down.
He used to be the water blaster.
Yeah,
until
he used
died
to be
in a
the
horrible
blaster.
Car crash.
He used to be the bloke blaster, and now it's her. The family job is passed on. And
Ben, when you grow up, you'll be water blasting blokes too.
So they, after she's done blasting, she comes back home, and they talk about something. I don't even remember this.
I don't really give a shit. Yeah,
she's got her job anyway, and he's trying to make this box car, and he's doing it on the sly, and we don't know why. He hides it. He says that he's he tells her he's doing some extracurricular stuff, something else. He's doing studying.
Yeah, because they go to school that next day, and they're talking about watching Zombie PI and how much his bloke Jeff wants to date Karate Girl.
Yeah, we know Jeff's name. Did we ever get Karate Girl's name even? She has no agency. Yeah, she has zero agency.
She knows karate. That's her name.
She knows karate, and Jeff wants to get with her.
Yeah. So I don't remember. It does hard cut after that conversation to career day. But at some point, there's just an 8-year-old kid that calls Ben a pussy or something, and I don't.
What? Yeah. So what? Okay. That scene. Oh my god. That was him and Jeff are walking outside, and he meets Karate Girl, and she steps on his foot, and he goes that was you don't understand. It's my friend's injury from when he was the national snowboarding champion for our age group. So he broke his foot real bad a while back, and they're like, oh, that's really cool. And then the two boys walk away, and he's like, limp, pretend that you're really hurt. And they start limping away, and she goes, what a fucking loser.
She says, what a pussy.
She does.
It's just a hard swear.
Yeah.
I mean, New Zealand sounds like a great place to go. This is great.
So, yeah, she just goes what a pussy. And Jeff goes, boy, I can't wait to ask her to the dance, but also I'm too scared, so you should do it for me. And our main character, God, what's our main character's name? I don't even remember. Ben, right. Ben goes...
Oh, sorry.
Okay, well,
Ben?
I'll...
Ben?
Bean? So Bean tells her that he's going to. He tells him that he's going to ask her out for Jeff and get her to date Jeff for the dance. If Jeff gets him a boxcar and helps him, because Jeff is a mechanic.
He's treating her as a commodity to get what he wants.
She is a commodity to be traded, and nothing in this movie ever says anything else, because that's exactly what happens, basically. She has zero agency or thoughts in her head at all. Yeah.
Sure was written by a boomer. So, at career day, Aussie Dad is there. And he's saying how he's the sponsor of the boxcar race that happens every year. And how he won so many races back in the day, they called him Slippery Hips. Slippery Hips?
Slippery Hips Willie?
Wayne, I think?
Willie? Slippery Hips Wayne.
I don't think anybody called him Slippery Hips Wade, right?
No. Hey, man, listen. You don't understand how much lube he was shoving on those things. You had to call him Slippery Hips Wade.
How slippery do your hips have to be
He had a big shirt that said Slippery Hips Wayne, and I mean, everybody was just like, okay, I mean, I guess that's
that was the shirt he wore at very special occasions. That wasn't his everyday shirt.
No, it had to be. Everyone called him that. Hey, listen, what do you call a guy that's walking around with shorts, lubed up hips, and a big shirt that says Slippery Hips Wayne? You call him Slippery Hips Wayne. I don't understand what the problem is. Like, that's... Eventually you get there.
Wait, why you always be lubing up your hips?
He's Slippery Hips Wayne. That's, I mean... asking a lot of questions his shirt is answering.
So Ben decides he wants to go join the boxcar race after career day just to show up.
That isn't shown as a weird joke either. That's just he's just talking and he just drops that and everybody just walks past it like it was a normal thing.
But he goes to the registration desk and he's like, "Hey, do you have any more forms to sign up?" And she's like, "Absolutely not. Get the fuck out of my face."
All the Australian kids took them, is what she said.
All the
Aussies two nice Aussie boys. They must have a really big family because they took every single form, all 500.
And we don't have a printer anymore because it's jammed and it's low on ink. So
yeah. So can't do that.
And so as he's walking away, dejected, she's like, "I was just fucking with you. There's one right here." Just wanted to, Good luck, kid. But this is where he comes in because there's extracurricular activities.
Sorry, I just want to say I love how every problem is immediately solved in the same scene, instantly.
Like 2 seconds later,
she's like, "Oh no! Well, all those evil Australian kids took them and lied to me and stole all the forms." But anyways, it's not a problem because I had another one right here anyway.
Nope.
Okay. So what was the point?
What was the point?
Okay, well, never mind. We almost had tension for a moment. Well, let's deflate that immediately. We could have had a problem.
Activities that folks can sign up for was the point. Yeah. And this is where I'm bringing it back. He took the extracurriculars sign up and the sign up for the Derby and put them like back to back. And he had his mom sign one and then slid up just the signature part of the second one and had her sign that one too.
Yes.
So he tricked her. It was a tricky trick. Yep. And now he's legal to sell.
Out there doing some crime.
Yeah, she didn't know what that second sheet was, but he is legally allowed to sell drugs on the street now.
That was the drug participation form. Exactly.
Now he can join the mob, which we'll get to later.
Yeah, well, that part does happen. Well, okay, listen, he doesn't join the mob. He owes the mob. That's a very different thing. He owes the mob money.
It's different, yeah.
So he goes and they make their flyer. It's the Kiwi flyer with his mechanically minded friend. They set up and they steal a bunch of, like, real estate signs from the Australian mom who everybody hates because they have like devil horns on her head and stuff when they take the real estate sign because everybody hates Australians so much.
Everybody in New Zealand hates Aussies, and this is accurate.
They really hammer that home in this movie.
This is accurate.
But he makes this really awful looking racer, this thing that it's like on tricycle wheels, and it's absolutely dog shit. And they ride it down a hill, but it's very, very slow because it's got these tiny, tiny little wheels. And their teacher comes by, who's a super creeper, and is constantly stalking his family and following around his mom, including multiple times breaking into their property to look through their windows and listen in on their conversations. But anyways, he's stalking this kid right now because he wants to get with their mom. And he's like, hey, I was totally following you for totally legit, non-creepy reasons. And I think that you just need bigger tires, like racing tires. Okay.
Yeah, bigger
anyway,
tires.
I'm going to leave. That's why I was watching you as a kid.
I was just here to tell you about wheels.
And that's why I was, I definitely was not following around this 13-year-old child all day, hoping that I could find his mom and talk to her. No, that would be wrong and creepy.
I think it's important to note also that, so first of all, the teacher is Di Henwood, which is apparently the host of New Zealand's Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, okay.
And like a comedian that does news shows in New Zealand.
Does he still do them, or did he lose all of his contracts after doing this? Because
no, he's got like 20 years of this apparently. So that's his in.
He's the major star. Got it.
He's the big star.
They grabbed the Channel 6 newscaster, and now that's their big star for their boxing derby.
But he's super weird in this movie. What I wanted to get to though is as they're building that pile of shit that he puts together out of like scrap wood with his bloke Jeff, he has a little model design that his dad made before he died. Which isn't really a model. It's like a half-finished block of wood with nothing on it that doesn't look like anything.
It may as well be a rock with a slight visor chiseled into it.
It's shaped like a butt.
Kind of. Oh, you're going to get into the ass play part of the film.
No, it's not. Don't use that word. That's not what it is. So as his mom is like wandering by and he's trying to hide his boxcar that he's building. He still has the model with him, and he doesn't want her to know because his dad died in a horrible boxcar accident. So,
we don't know why. We don't know why he doesn't want his mom because nothing has been said about that. I need to make that clear because nothing at all has ever been said about that. He just, for some reason, doesn't want her to know. No one said anything. This is important later. Go ahead.
So he tries to hide it from her while he's talking to her. So he stuffs it in his pants, but not the front, because that would be fucking gross. So he puts it in the back, so it looks like he has a giant dumpy.
Yeah.
And the mom is just like, wow, I didn't expect that to grow out like that at your age. That's weird. Anyways, nice giant
That's
dumpy,
a good dump truck ass, son. See, Listen, this kid was trying to sneak past his mom without alerting her, but the clap of his gigantic dump truck kept alerting her to the fact that he was trying to make a boxcar.
Man, yeah. I know, like... So, like, she doesn't notice anything other than that he has a big dumpy. A giant dumpy. So, we go back to school now that he knows he needs cool tires, because the teacher told him. And as we're going to school, there's like an establishing scene of the school. And there's some kid talking to some other kid. And they said some nonsensical shit I don't understand, which was New Zealand slang, I think, or something. Like, she said something like, my mom says she bips his some meeps or something.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't get that either. There was some heavy slang on that one.
What? And so he wants wheels, but wheels are expensive. So how does he get money for wheels?
Well, I mean, the obvious thing that you would do is you'd borrow money from the elementary school loan sharks that live in the janitor's closets.
Yeah, everybody has those. Well, they didn't have them in the US, but maybe it's a Canada, New Zealand thing. Like, yeah.
I mean, if you need lunch money, sometimes you just need a little bit extra, and you're willing to pay the vig to the mob, and you know, Brett's there with his ready to work you over with like the wiffle bat, but yeah, I mean those things don't hurt that badly, so it's okay.
Yeah, Yeah.
We're not joking. This
he goes to the loan shark in the janitor's office. Like, not even an office, it's a closet.
It's a closet, yeah.
Yeah, and the kid's like, oh, cool, how much money do you need? I don't know, like $400 for some tires? Oh, great.
Yeah, well, $400.
Yeah, how much money you got on you? Do some math, okay. Do you have collateral? We need something worth at least $400 in case you can't pay back. I don't have any collateral. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll just increase the interest rate. Okay, well, here's your loan agreement. Need you to sign here. Oh, it says on the bottom something about paid in blood if I don't pay it back. Oh, yeah, no blood.
No blood.
Just kidding. No blood.
Unless.
Not today, anyway.
Anyway, if you don't pay back, Sluggo... Sluggo? Is his name Slug?
It's Slug. It was just Slug, I think.
He says something about Slug being in his dick-kicking department.
Yeah. Yes.
If you don't pay back, he'll kick your dick.
Yeah. That's the slogan. It's on the janitor's door. I don't know how you get into the janitor's closet without seeing the Sluggo dick-kicking department on the door. He's got a little desk and everything. We made him a nice nameplate. It just says, like, head dick-kicking.
I've never signed up for a loan, but if there was a dick-kicking department at the loan office, I think I would leave.
I mean...
Just pay back on time. Everybody knows you just pay it back and nothing bad happens. What are you doing?
See, it's easy. What you do is you lie and say that you have a bunch of extra jobs, but then what you really do is you're going to run off and you win your boxcar derby so that you can become a millionaire, and then you can pay off anybody that you want.
God damn it. Oh yeah, the boxcar derby has a $500 prize. So in theory, with interest of the $400 plus time made to make the car plus whatever, $500 will cover exactly the loan. Is what they're getting at, I guess.
Well,
it's a 50% interest loan.
You say that's what they're getting at, but the thing is, they don't get that because they only mention the $500 when the mob people go to collect from him later, and he's like, oh no, they're like, well, how are you going to pay us back? And he goes, there was a prize for $500 for winning the boxcar derby. And it has never mentioned that anywhere on any posters in the movie. No character had said it. There was absolutely zero indication at all before that in this movie.
There actually was a poster at one point that said $500. I did see it.
Was there?
Yeah, I think it was at the office where he picked up the form to sign up, but it was never implicitly told by a character.
Huh. All right, I guess that...
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. I am mentally upgrading this movie in my head. Let me just... give me 1 second.
F-?
Okay, it went from a 0% to a 10% because it now has paid off, and it has actually mentioned something rather than Deus Exing it 1 out of 10 times.
There was something really interesting when you're doing that. I heard the hamster turning the wheel as you were coming up with that. Yeah, that was really cool.
Like, good squeaking. The fucking hell. Because, like, nothing else in this movie is paid off like that. Like, there's no other setup and payoff. Nothing else is said like that.
Nothing that isn't set up and immediately paid off, at least. Like,
yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, yeah. Because later on, just spoiler alert, we're going to jump ahead. The most egregious example of this is that he's been hiding it from his mom the entire movie. Finally, an hour and 10 minutes in or something, we're 20 minutes from the end of the movie. She's like, wait, you're in the boxcar derby race? Oh my god! That's what killed your father! And then he goes, well, but Mom, Dad never won. He'd want me to win. And she goes, well, that's true. Anyways, okay, I guess I'll help you. And that's the scene. That's the entire arc of Mom doesn't want you to do it. This is the emotional core of our movie. Dad's dead. I blame your dad's death on the boxcar race, and that's why I've never wanted you to do it, even though I never said it until just now. And then you raise the point of, well, but maybe Dad would want me to do it, and that's a good point, and I've never ever thought of that. So okay, yeah, I'm fine with it. That's so the whole fucking arc. That's like
it's so dumb.
That's the main plot, right? Like, wouldn't that be the main thrust of this film? Is that like the dad's death and getting over it?
It would
like,
make so much more sense if she noticed that he was hiding it the whole time, and he's like, "Look, I know this is important to you, and yada yada, and I was against it at first." Like, if there was something, but it's just a 180 out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the plot said it had to happen.
And we didn't know for most of the movie. We're like, okay, why is he hiding it from her?
Yeah.
I'm like, we both kind of made the assumption that it was because the dad died, but it's only just as a guess because we're like, well, they're going to stupidly pull it out of their ass.
And it's real bad, too, because the dad went through the windshield. What? It's a horrible boxcar accident. What the fuck?
But what a stupid... Well, and then she was so worried about like, oh, I don't want you to ever boxcar race ever again because the dad died that way. Anyways, here's the boxcar that your dad made you that we're going to pull out after your boxcar was wrecked and 30 seconds after I made my 180-degree turn. But I've been saving it all these years in the garage, hidden under a bunch of shit, because I'd never wanted you to race it, and I never wanted to see it again because I knew that you shouldn't ever boxcar race, and I don't want you to. That's why I saved it.
She had a perfectly fitting fiberglass shield.
Yes, as a windscreen for it. Yes,
as a windscreen just in her garden.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
They could make the boxcar in the last 30 minutes of the movie and remake it because
make it better. Yeah.
Again, that's all the examples of there is no setup and payoff except for inside individual scenes. Like if they raise a problem, they immediately solve it. It's the same thing as the oh, these Australians stole all of the opening forms. Oh no, how will you join the? Oh, never mind.
Here's a form. Yeah, my bad. But okay, so they build the shitty boxcar.
Yes.
With the cool tires that they got from the loan shark money. That the dick kicking department will never get back. And they tested on a road, and they're like, that test was 43.7 seconds. It's so fast. Wow. And then I'm like, is that good? Is 43.7 a good time? What's a comparison?
Is this the hill that they're racing on? Is there the same incline on this hill? Is it the same distance? How much distance are they doing it over? Do we know what the champion time was from another year, or
what's the record? Are? Right, and no, the answer is it was 43.7 seconds. Oh, okay. So then they go brag to the Aussies about how fast they were, and Ben gets punched in the face. Fair.
Mm-hmm. Sorry,
Ben deserves it.
You mean Bin?
Bin gets punched in the face.
Punched in the face.
Yep. So then the Aussies go back and they're like, "Whoa, they got 43.7 seconds. We're gonna have to really amp it up."
And the dad goes, "Wait, is 43.7 seconds matter? What does that mean?
Is that good?
What the fuck?
Is that
what are you talking about? Was
how
that a
much
good time?
Is that?
How much time did we spend on our race? I haven't thought about it in a year because it's a boxcar race and we don't really give a shit."
So they take out their fiberglass boxcar that they built because he's a used car salesman. And he's the sponsor of the event, and he has money.
Who's also a mechanic, because they show him underneath the car. This was a really weird twist. Just a real quick second. They go to see the dad, and he's underneath a car working on it. And they go, "Dad, why are you underneath the car working on it?" And he's like, "Well, gotta make sure that it runs really well. I have to make sure that all of my customers are satisfied." Which makes him the greatest used car salesman in a movie I've ever seen.
I guess he's not a scummy Yeah, he's not scummy in his used car business. He's a scummy douchebag at the boxcar race. It's different.
Apparently, yeah.
It's called
used car salesman in the streets, boxcar racer in the sheets.
Slippery hips Wayne for nothing. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Slippery hips Wayne would never do you wrong on a used car sale.
I would go to Slippery Hips Wayne's used cars.
Anyway.
Yeah, but so they test their fiberglass car, and it's faster than their piece of shit car. And they're like,
by a lot.
That fiberglass car they spent thousands of dollars on is faster than our piece of shit junk car we built in the garage out of a bunch of trash.
Huh, who knew?
They must be cheating. So they put on ski masks and get a fucking rifle and break into their like auto repair portion of the used car place, and they're like
ready to hold hostages. Yeah, they've got a plan. They get all the exits worked out,
and they find their explosive canisters. You can tell because they're yellow, and they say explosion on them with a big skull, and they're hydrogen peroxide canisters. I guess.
Yeah, so it's just compressed air that
they're just using compressed air to like push the vehicle forward a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure, it's like a NOS type of thing.
Yeah. It's hydrogen peroxide, but they're just spraying it behind the car to give it a little extra boost.
So they steal a canister, and I don't think they test it, but I don't think they actually do anything with the canister other than like call them out for it. They never use the thing they steal.
No, they steal it, they test it on their car, and they go, "Huh, that makes you go faster." Well, anyway, let's just drop that for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, and instead, they go to the... Is it the time trial now? Or... I don't remember.
Like something around that. They're like, they kind of have the whole, the mom finds out about... Or does the mom find out about it after the time trial? She finds out about it after the time trial.
She finds it after, because he goes to the time trial. He's faster than the fiberglass car. So the Aussie then runs them off the road during their last time trial test and demolishes the vehicle.
Well, it's not the last time trial test. They go in there like, oh, like, let's have another race.
A bonus one
right now.
Yeah.
Let's just do a race just for fun between the two of us. And then the kid runs him off the road and trashes his car. Yep. Because who would have possibly suspected the shitty bullies who have constantly beat you and stolen your shit and said that they would cheat would run you off the road after tricking you into doing an extra race for some reason.
And this is the day before the race. Oh no. Yeah. So after he throws his helmet at them, because they're taunting him, he fucks off back home. And the mom knows because the teacher was stalking him again and found his helmet. So he stalked back to their house after giving it to her because he's going to ask her out. But he notices them talking about how Ben's dad died in a horrible boxcar accident.
He notices it because he's in their yard looking through their windows.
Looking through their window like a creep. So then he tries to leave because the situation's awkward for him to ask her on a date. And he like climbs over fences and stuff. But then he gets his dick caught on the fence as he's climbing over.
Yeah. Including when he finally rips his dick off of the fence, there is a sound effect.
Yeah, and the mom like walks out because she showed Ben the frame, and Ben's like, "Well, this is never going to work because I don't have my $400 bike tires anymore. They got destroyed in the horrible boxcar accident I was just in, which would give you trauma if you knew I was in a horrible boxcar accident."
Yes.
But yeah,
the teacher goes from the fence where his dick is caught, yells down at them, and he goes, "Hey, I know that this is a real bad time, but if you agree to not press charges, I'll give you my bike tires."
Yeah,
because it's my racing bike, and you can use those. Just please don't call the cops, please. I need this job. I can't get caught. They'll put a restraining order around schools.
Nothing ever comes up with him and the mom dating or anything, by the way. It never leads to anything.
Really. I mean, like, at the end of the movie, they show them going for a date, but...
I guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and then she's like, "You're a horrible stalker weirdo and you should leave." Yeah.
No, she doesn't, actually. That's the thing. Is then it just shows them for the rest of the movie just kind of like... They're always standing next to each other now for the rest of the movie, with him being really creepy about it, and her kind of just not caring. And then the movie ends with the whole plot of them is so I mean, because we're like an hour and 15 minutes in, like this is like last 15
near the end,
yeah. And she basically before that, it's just been him creepy stalking her a couple times. They've never talked. He's never said anything to her. There's been no real plot there. There's no like, "I'm going to be your new dad." There's none of that. At least they avoided the melodrama, I guess. That's kind of a plus. But that whole plot line is that it culminates in this, and then they have like 3 scenes of them cheering together from the sidelines of the boxcar derby, and then the final scene of the movie kind of thing is her getting dressed to go on a date and he's at the door, and that's
I guess
that's
whatever.
that's
Yeah,
this plot. That's this
fucking
whole
nothing
plot
is
line.
what it is.
That's it. Yeah. Like that's what I mean. Like it's just all the plot lines in this movie resolve to nothing. Like why would you care?
It does. So after that, it does cut back to race day though, and Mom is there, and Ben's like, "Okay, Mom and you and I, we're gonna do this race. We're gonna win. We're the whole team." And by the way, I need to go get Jeff because he fucked off when he found out that I asked the karate girl out, but she thought I was asking her out and not you, Jeff, who I was going to wingman for. Yeah. And I said yes because she's hot and karate girl. And this was all a big misunderstanding. And I'm a big dick bag. So I'm going to go trick her into thinking that she needs to date you instead of me, instead of just telling the truth to anybody ever.
Yep. Yeah. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen, rather than go, he gets caught lying to his friend and stealing, but like, dating this, in the other kid's words, stealing the girl that he wanted to date and like asking her out instead for himself, like you said. Yeah. And his solution is not any kind of being contrite and apologizing and being truthful, but is instead to like cover himself in shit. Like he made himself smell bad.
He ate a raw onion.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. And then he's just the whole time as he's talking to her, he's like bad mouthing every show she likes, bad mouthing what she's wearing, just being a total jackass,
nagging her. Yeah.
And then when she says she likes something, he's like, Jeff really likes that thing that I hate. You should go talk to Jeff. Which is like, fucking A. Come on. Did the writers of this think that like she's not a human being with a brain and emotions and fucking Christ?
Well, you see, Boyks, she's a girl.
Fucking boomers. So I think this is totally a boomer thing. It pisses me off.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. It's miserable. Yeah. It just sucks. So yeah, he goes in and apologizes to his friend, and well, I'll ask her out for you. I promise. I swear. This time she'll actually go out with you, I guess.
So he's going back to the race, and he's crossing a bridge over a river. And on both sides of the bridge are the Loan Shark and Slug. Yes, and they're here to collect, motherfucker. They'll break your kneecaps, kick you in the dick if you don't pay us back with your money. Where's the money, kid? Where's the money?
We haven't seen these people in 45 minutes again.
So he steps on both of their toes and then runs off in this extended like American Gladiators chase sequence with like zip lines and shit and jumping over hedges and trampolines, and it's ridiculous.
Rope swings into the river and swims away.
And he gets away, and the Loan Shark and Slug are like, should we go after him? I have a better idea. He wants to win the race, which is $500 to pay us back. Let's go guarantee that.
Yeah, I do like some of this part actually. So also just the other thing is they yell at the race coordinators that the Australian team is cheating because they've got the gas canisters in their thing. And the dad goes to the judge comes over and he's like, well, I might need to inspect your car. And he goes, you would inspect the car of a sponsor?
I paid for this and I could take that money out at any time.
And the judge immediately goes, oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't. Anyways, thanks. Have a good day, sir. Who gives a shit?
If you ever do this again, you little shit, we'll disqualify you from the event.
Yeah, if you ever disparage them again by saying that they might cheat, then I'm going to disqualify you instead. Yeah.
Sure, whatever.
Which I actually thought was funny because that is probably one of the most accurate things in this film. Is it's like, yeah, no, they would never. If you're the sponsor, then you just get to do your shit. Yep, that sounds pretty accurate for most of those things.
So they show a lot of the boxcar race, including like a 3 boxcar pile up.
There's a couple of boxcar flips.
There's some very dangerous
flips
that happen. You're like, oh.
With like 12-year-olds in them, yeah, at like fairly high speed.
Great. Yeah, and as they go for their leg of the race with Ben, the Aussies are in the same leg, and the older brother pulls out a pin from one of their wheels in the Kiwi Flyer.
Which this part bothered me so much because they're sitting there like, oh man, I couldn't get the judges to admit that they were cheating, kind of thing. They're not going to test them. Anyways, do you want to just go and have like a corn dog or something and leave our flyer totally unattended right next to the Australian team that we know are cheaters, that I just yelled at in front of everybody for being cheaters while they're standing here and nobody else is around? Yeah, sounds good. All right, let's leave. I'm sure they won't do anything like cheat.
The New Zealand Tourism Board made them show how good the corn dogs are at the boxcar race. Like, that's part of their contract.
Our federally mandated corn dog moment.
Yeah, the corn dog clause.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. The corn dog lobby in New Zealand is pretty strong.
Yeah. So, of course, like, the bully fucks with their car. And his wheel comes off during the leg, so he loses the leg and is out of the race for good and never going to be in the finals. Until an official walks over 2 seconds later. It's like, we had a drop. You're in the finals.
Yep. No explanation, no reasoning. Just...
If you can... Yeah, whatever.
If there's a problem in this movie, wait 10 seconds. It'll be solved by random bullshit.
Whatever. So...
We were disqualified and we lost the race. Oh, but somebody else lost, so you can come back in, I guess. I don't know.
They need to get the car working again, which they'll never resolve. So the younger bully kid, who's been bullied by his family of bullies, feels like he wants to have a fair race with this kid who's an absolute shit to him, Ben.
Yeah.
So he brings the pin back. He's like, hey, I just found this, wink, wink, pin, wink, wink, say no more, wink. We should have a race. Well, you're gonna cheat and use the gas anyway. I won't use the gas. I won't cheat. I'm a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
And as he's walking off and it's finally resolved, they're gonna have a real race. Fucking Loan Shark and Slug come in and grab him. To beat him up. And they're like, what the hell are you doing? We're making sure our investment comes in.
I'm protecting our investment. Because he goes, well, how are you going to pay my loan back? Well, there's a $500 prize for first. Well, all right. Well, I mean, if I want my money back, that means I got to fuck up all the other racers then, so you win. Which, this is the one time that something paid off in this movie, and it fucking rules. This is actually a great plan.
It's so good. So as they're beating up
got this guy involved in the fucking preschool mob.
He did. So as the middle school, elementary school mob, whatever it is beating up the younger bully, Ben and Jeff come to save the day, and they get their asses kicked because they're fucking losers.
Yes.
Which is a common theme in this movie.
The mobsters are then just beating on all three of them.
So then Karate Girl shows up and beats them up. He's like, I know karate. I'm Karate Girl. And they run off. And I guess
is a payoff. We knew that she was Karate Girl because one time when she was walking past, on a jog, she was jogging. She was
jogging in her outfit.
In her karate gi. Like in her gi, which... He goes like, what are you jogging in? And she's like, well, this is a gi, don't you know? And it's like, well, sure, but why would you fucking jog in it other than to signal that you're Karate Girl, the literal only quality that you have as a human being in this movie?
Yeah, the younger bully gets saved, though. Karate Girl picks up Jeff, who got his ass beat, and as they're holding hands, /arms, /forearms, they realize that they love each other and should date.
They share a connection, I guess.
Because Jeff got his ass beat, and Karate Girl beats ass. I guess. I don't know what the thought is here. I really don't. No fucking clue.
It had to resolve the problem, and they found the stupidest and easiest way out of that, like they did with basically every problem in this movie. It's easy, Boyks. You just write an instant solution.
Because the younger bully's not going to cheat anymore, and that's been resolved, we're going to have a fair race, and we're going to have a good resolution to the film. And by that, I mean the older brother kicks him out of the car and gets in and acts like he's a small child that nobody will notice.
No one's going to notice
17, 16.
13-year-old got replaced by a 17-year-old.
What hell of a growth spurt. Fuck. So he's gonna cheat, obviously. So they start the race, and he immediately starts another car pile up behind him. His cars are flipping and starting on fire and running over to the edge into the crowd. and then they're bouncing against each other, and a sign falls off of like the side of the roadway that they have for like advertisements, and it lands on a hay bale, which happens to be there, lining up perfectly to create a ramp for a boxcar, which causes the boxcar, the Kiwi Flyer, to quote unquote literally fly into the finish line, because one of the nitrous tanks doesn't take effect until after the race, when it causes him and his dad to fly into more shit, another porta potty full of shit. They're covered in
they get biffed again. They're all biffed all over. They get biffed in the mouth, biffed in the face, biffed all over.
I don't like the phrase "biffed and poopy" now that I've said it. Doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Anyway, so they win the race.
Anyway, they win.
The guys win, and the mom goes off and dates the guy. We're done, right? We're done with the movie.
No, because we need to end with a Christian dance party.
Oh yeah, they do end up.
There's a Christian dance party where they say how every kid in Stand By Me style went on the next year and did this and that, and how the next cart they're going to make isn't going to be the Flying Kiwi or the Kiwi Flyer or whatever it is. They're going to call the next boxcar
the Laughing Poo Kicker.
And then it ends. We need to know the deep lore about the Laughing Poop Kicker at the next boxcar race.
I would watch the sequel of Laughing Poop Kicker, to be fair.
How many kids died in the horrible boxcar accidents that Bully caused at the end of that race?
More than one.
It was like a NASCAR pileup.
Oh, yeah. No, there's kids actually flipping over the hay bales into the crowd. It does not look great a couple times.
No. So that's Derby Dogs.
That's Derby Dogs. I don't want to talk about Derby Dogs anymore. I want to just be done.
Derby Dogs. Oh, well, we got to rate the dogs.
So, thanks for listening, everybody.
Fucking baby,
we'll have some fucking dogs. God.
How does this happen to us?
Boyks, how do you recognize every single plot twist in a movie and know how these stupid fucking movies are gonna go, but you never notice how they're gonna bait and switch you when you look at the box?
The box said Derby Dogs. It had two dogs on it, and it had a tagline about dogs.
This one is the most bait and switch I've ever seen. If it actually is set up, I don't know that we firmly established a timeline. There is the one box art is the first one, and then they changed it to the second with the dogs in it. Because if they changed it from Kiwi Flyer to Derby Dogs and put on dogs on the poster, it's fucking fraud almost. It's really bad.
I mean, it is fraud, yeah.
It's
the original movie release poster is in cinemas September 27th, Kiwi Flyer, the movie. Yeah, and then when it came out on video and on streaming, they renamed it. Yeah.
There is some awful scumbag behind that.
Okay, so on the IMDb page for trivia, despite the DVD cover prominently displaying a Jack Russell Terrier and a pug, there are no dogs in this movie. That's trivia. Trivia.
These people are fucking hack frauds that lied about the movie so they could try and trick families into buying it.
That's not trivia. That's a lawsuit.
That's not trivia. That's that's just. Fuck. I mean, it's not. I don't think we could sue, but man,
I am I'm 2 for 2 on picking bait and switch movies, and you're 0 so far, so I feel bad about that. To be fair, I picked this one because it looked like dog shit, and it's been in our list for 2.5 years.
And now it's gone. At least we don't
I don't
have
have to
deal
look
with that
at it
anymore. We're like the dad that ran after the weird, creepy, perv teacher that was trying to stalk them in the grocery store and stepped on that dog shit to smash it to pieces and never think about it again.
Oh, we never mentioned that. The teacher stole some guy's shopping cart because he wanted to like hit on Ben's mom. But he didn't want her to know. He didn't want her to know that he was buying 27 rolls of toilet paper for home.
Mm-hmm. So he went and stole somebody else's cart so that he could pretend that he was a more normal human being.
And then got beat up by that guy. Yeah.
He's an alien in a human skin suit, and he was buying himself like lotion and toilet paper, and then was like, "Wait, is this not what the humans buy?" And so he had to steal a different cart to pretend. God damn it! This fucking movie.
Anyway,
this movie was boring and stupid, and honestly, the worst part again is still just that it was basically a fraud. I'm really stunned by that. Like, that is actually scummy as shit. Like, I am legitimately kind of mad about that because it's bad. That's real bad. That's the asylum levels of bad. You know, like doing the Transmorphers. We'll put it behind Transformers and it'll have similar box art.
Unlike, I'm assuming, the Tubi original movie, Titanic 666. Which has to be good.
Probably is exactly what it is on the cover.
It has to be good. It's Titanic 666. How is it bad? Is there a lower low than Tubi original? By the way, I don't know if there is. Anyway, thanks for listening. We'll see you next Rough Cuts.
Yeah. If you want to check out our social media and stuff, you can send us suggestions for movies, or you can help us out on our Patreon. You can check us on roughcutscast@gmail.com or at roughcutscast on Twitter. Thanks everybody for following and tweeting out all of our stuff and helping us through the years of doing this podcast. The literal years. And maybe we'll have another special guest soon. So thanks for tuning in. See you later.
Yeah. I'm going to go Photoshop some dogs on a movie poster.
I'm going to go Photoshop Leslie Nielsen onto a movie poster.
Stop pointing that out. Nobody's pointed it out to us yet. Come on.
All right.
All right, bye. Tricked her. Get tricked, Mom.
Now he's in a derby. The thing that killed Dad.
That's right, Mom. You signed me up for buying drugs on the street.
Got her. Yeah, the cops arrest him and he's like, whoa. No. See, my mom signed the form. I'm allowed to sell drugs on this street corner. oh, sorry, kid. We'll just get out of your hair. Thanks for doing the paperwork.
Yeah, it's a drugs permission form.
Tight nuts, that's what you need, good boy.
What a pussy.